So let's quickly talk about renting an apartment here in the UK. Yeah, as you can see, I'm going to work, and this just came to my mind. So I will just try as much as possible to, gist you about, some shocking discoveries I have experienced here in the UK when it comes to, renting an apartment as a student. Trust me, these points are going to shock you. But, you know, it's not to, scare, you that you're coming to the UK for one reason or the other. It's just to like keep you informed and to, make you exposed for you to already know everything that is happening as regards, the UK. Now, the first part that shocked me, although I've heard about this, before coming here, is paying rent monthly. If you're coming from Nigeria where, the rent is paid yearly, you can properly plan. See, even if your rent is outrageous, the fact that you have a specific month, and in that specific month, you have a specific day, trust me, you're going to be able to pay your rent, even if it's to borrow. Now, in the UK here, your rent is monthly. Yeah, your rent is monthly, and trust me, here the days run faster. The time, the night also comes faster. In Nigeria, I feel like we have probably 30 hours a day, while in the UK we have 24 hours. I don't know if you think this is true. Let me know something in the comments. I won't say this was like a shocker, but when you come into this country and you rent a place, for example, for about £500, hoping that okay, by the time I get a job, I should be able to maintain this monthly payment. And to your shock or to your amazement, you discover that probably where you're working, you're not earning enough. And when I mean earning enough, it could be either they are not paying you enough money per hour, or probably, they're not giving you enough hours. You might need to like borrow money, to augment your rent. So this was, the first thing that came out to me. Now, the second part is, it's one thing to pay your rent monthly. It's another thing when you're renting the apartment, they tell you pay deposit. It's not the deposit you know about in Nigeria. It's not the deposit you know about in any parts of Africa. When they say you are paying deposit, what they literally mean is that, you are going to pay, let's say your rent is £500. You're going to pay another £500 as deposit. So which means on renting that apartment as a first timer, the total amount you are paying is £1,000. So imagine you dropping that kind of huge amount on renting an apartment in the UK. That is another shocker. So if you're living where you're staying in the UK and you're moving to another place, this could be in London, this could be in Essex, this could be in any part of the UK, you are going to pay that money. But the advantage there is when you are now leaving the apartment you're staying, you can use your deposit to stay an extra month whilst you are saving up money and also looking for an apartment. So if you are able to get another apartment within that 1 month, you'll be able to gather at least enough funds to pay for deposit and rent to the place you're moving to. Now stay with me, this is this is like the icing. Let's go deep now. The third part is as a student, you not getting the kind of apartment you're seeking for because the landlords are asking for payroll. So now when you arrive at the UK as a student, obviously because you are limited by the 24-hour per week rule, it definitely means that some people might not be able to get jobs. Yeah, so many companies here in the UK are not interested in employing students because they know they can only work for 24 hours and 20 hours per week. So due to this, we have to do menial jobs, we have to do all sorts of jobs that, will not get enough payment. And when you're doing menial jobs, I mean, like, you're doing a menial job to the extent that, even when they ask you what kind of job do, you cannot openly tell people that this is the kind of job you do. But because it's paying your bills, you are managing. Let's talk about, the dubious African agents. So each time there's a loophole in the system, there is a rising, solution. It now depends if the solution is a good solution, is an authentic solution, or maybe it's just something just to, like, medicine after death, but it's still manageable. So we have the dubious African agents. So these are the people that work with, immigrants, mostly with students. So what they do is when they realize that you just come into the country newly as a student, mostly as a student, sometimes as a worker, they help you to get an apartment without your payroll being needed. But the disadvantage there is you're going to be paying through tooth. You are going to be paying too much for small. Let me explain to you. Come closer. So this is what it means. For example, for an apartment that is not supposed to be more than probably £600 monthly, because the agent is standing in for you, that this person, I know this person will be able to pay that £600. Do you know what the agent will do? So the agent is now going to tell you, or he's going to tell you to rent the apartment for 700. Just because the agent is standing in for you, you are paying another £100 on that money, which makes it 700. So that £100 you're paying is not for the landlord, it's not for anything. It is for the agent standing in for you. Yeah. And don't forget, aside from that, you are still going to pay agent fee because the agent helped you in getting an apartment. So every month you will be paying the agent indirectly. You won't be, of course, you can't know about this. If you know about this, you are definitely going to say you're not interested. So you can't know about this. So the agent too will not tell you how much the apartment is going to cost or how much the room in that apartment is going to cost. What he will just tell you is the price, because you have explained that you're a student. So he definitely knows that you don't have a payroll. So which means that it's going to be standing in for you, that you're going to be paying that money. And the advantage for you there is anytime you're unable to meet up with the rent, you call your agent, tell him, I won't be able to meet up with the rent. I'll be paying so day. So if it is due, the agent can pay on your behalf. Then when you have the money, you pay the agent. So that's the advantage there. But aside from that, you're basically paying the agent and you're paying the landlord. Now, let's move to the landlords. Now, in the UK here, I would say, especially in London, because that's where I'm domiciled for now, I would say that there is racism. There is racism, but it's not pronounced. Yeah, I want to see if I'm running late. There is racism, but it's not pronounced. So basically, most landlords, upon knowing that you're black, they would look for a reason not to rent, not to give you the apartment, or not to give you that room to rent. So yeah, it's just basically how it is here. They won't tell you anything. They just tell you nothing. Some of them will even tell you, real lies that you would somehow believe that okay, this is true, but when you look deep down, you know that because you're black, they are not willing to rent the apartment to you. So there is this, kind of mentality that black people are problematic people. So because of that, they don't want to rent their apartment to you. If you guys need more information about this, I might need to do a part two, of how you can go around, renting the right apartment or renting the right room, without spending too much. Our Timo system. So at some point we know how to go around it. So, but definitely you will make some mistakes, especially if you are not well informed before you get it right. So I'll see you guys in the next one.